back to Ozarks tonight. Our regular Friday guest, Steve Pokin of the Springfield News Leader, is joining us once again. Steve, it's good to see you as always, because that means the weekend is upon us, which is always a good thing. But you touched base today on a story that gained a lot of interest here in Springfield. Not only calls into our newsroom, but I know you guys at the Springfield News Leader had a lot of interest on this story. If folks remember way back, it seems a long time ago, months ago, in late April?
Early April.
Early April, there was Springfield gave out citations for the stay-at-home order to a group of motorcyclists here in town, and Steve has an update on that story. Do you want to just kind of refresh the viewers at home at first about what actually happened there?
Well, it started as many days do, as I'm juggling a couple things that, you know, will they come together for this column is going to be in Sunday's paper. And a couple things didn't come together, but I've always been interested in following up on a story that I wrote back in April. And it was, you know, as you mentioned, that seems so long ago, is that I was in the newsroom, and there weren't a whole lot of reporters going in the newsroom, and the general number rang, and I picked it up. And it was a fellow by the name of Stetson Jones. And he wanted to talk to a reporter because the night before he'd gotten a ticket from a Springfield police officer, a citation for violating the relatively new stay-at-home order in the city of Springfield. So I said, sure. The night he was ticketed on April 7th. The stay-at-home order was from March 26th to May 3rd. So he was ticketed on April 7th. He's a mechanic, and his boss, because of the pandemic, said you can work when you want. So he was going in working on cars, got off around 11:30, picked up a friend, got on his bike, and he has a super, like a dirt bike, and it's high end. And he went to a gas station on Battlefield where you can get octane, 93 octane. And I didn't know this, but I learned that if you have a motorcycle, that's kind of a desired fuel, and not everybody sells it. So he went there, and the pumps were open, but the station was closed. So he went across the street, come and go. He got a energy bar, and he got a bottle of water. He went back to get gas, and you know, his version of the story is that there are 6 or 7 other motorcycle riders there to get gas and or hanging out. He said didn't know any of them, but that's where people go and they hang out to get this special gas. And he is getting the gas, and the way he tells it, there were 5 or 6 police cars swarmed in, and they issued tickets for violating the stay-at-home order. And he got one. And it happened so fast, and he wasn't sure how do I get gas, and so that's why all the people who were ticketed, and I found out later from the police, 7 people were ticketed for violation of the stay-at-home order, and 2 for not having the proper, they didn't have the license requirement to be riding a motorcycle in the first place, not Stetson. And they also said that one person on a bike fled, got out of there, and they didn't pursue him or her. So he was upset and confused. So of all the people who got ticketed, he's the one who called the newspaper, and I picked it up. And the citation, when the officer gave him the citation, it was a female, and she said, you know, something along, congratulations, you're the first person in Springfield to be ticketed under the stay-at-home order. And that might be a technicality because there are other officers writing tickets the same place at the same time. So he's one of the first for sure. But it sounds better if he's like the first.
The first.
So the consequences of that would be that he faced a possible fine of $1,000. And I remember when I interviewed him back then in April, he said, "Should I get a lawyer?" I said, "I don't, I'm a reporter. I don't know if you need a lawyer. I have no idea." So I found out he subsequently has hired a lawyer. So anyway, so I'm thinking, not everything's. I wonder what happened to that guy, and so I got him on Facebook, and he still has not had his court date. The first date was June 25th. Mm-hmm. And it'd be interesting to see, is he going to have a lawyer? Is he going to challenge the stay-at-home law? And, how far is this going to go? Or is he going to pay the $1,000 and they're going to negotiate a deal where he pays part of it? So he says it's been continued and continued. He has a lawyer. And there's another date in a couple weeks. So what I did was I called there's a municipal court, and this is a citation, so it's in municipal court. It's not in circuit court. Carl Yendes is the main prosecutor. He looked up the case. He said, well, first of all, June 25th, he didn't show up. So that's number one. But everything, all the delays after that are due to the pandemic. Mm-hmm. There's a phase 1 protocol and then there's a phase 2. Things had gotten a little better, so for a time, people actually were having face-to-face court hearings in municipal court. Now we're back to phase 1, where they're not doing that. Mm-hmm. They'll maybe call some defense attorneys on the phone, work a deal. So the answer to what I was curious about is, how did this turn out? It hasn't turned out yet. He has contended, as it said in that first story, and I think that's why people really got interested, that they were just singled out because people who ride motorcycles get a bad rap.
Yeah, and he says he was not doing anything wrong that night.
No, yeah, he says, I'm an innocent man.
He says he's an innocent man. Well, it'll all be in the Sunday News Leader, all the details. Steve, I want to thank you for coming in. Once again, we always enjoy having you here.
Well, thank you. I enjoy being here.
All right, we'll be back with more Ozarks tonight right after this.